Hey everybody. Oh, my microphone. Hey everybody. How are you doing? Let me know if the audio is good. And we are going to go through the factory and we're all going to do a tour together. I'm pretty excited about that. So just looking to. Everybody. Oh, my microphone. Hey everybody. Now we got to change that. All right. Getting my settings right. Crazy day today. So looking for a little comment from someone saying we're good. So hopefully that comes up. I think somebody might have said I'm good, but in Korean, and my Korean is not up to par ever. Audio's good. Thank you. I was looking for that. That's the one thing I'm looking for, to make sure the audio is good. So it was a great day today. We were able to get in the factory, do everything that was promised. We've got a ton of recording that we were able to do. We met with several people from Nikola, which was a lot of fun. Asked a bunch of questions. We got a lot of answers. So it was a pretty exciting day. And it was just great to be inside the factory after not being able to see what was in there ourselves. So really good day. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start off by showing a floor plan of the factory as it almost is today. And it's with the phase one. This would be after the phase one build out is, I think it where the whole area is complete. It's not quite there yet, and that's why you'll see it here in a second. Hey JJ, Hyder asked, did they hire you for drone footage? No, they did not. And I wasn't looking to get hired for that. The only compensation I have ever received from Nikola is today we got a free breakfast because the event was catered, but everybody got a free breakfast. So no, I have not received anything from them. I just want to make that clear. So first we're going to go to the layout. This is the layout. This is the west side. This is the line right here. It starts at station 1, goes through here, and then it takes a left turn and it heads north, and then out the back of the factory. These areas around here are storage, little areas that are holding different parts and equipment. Same over here. We have the frame assembly here, the axle installation, where they flip the chassis, and we're going to see all this. The battery installation, the cab marriage is right here, and then the final assembly is right here. We're also going to see where the alignment and the brake roll, and these are the two areas that, if you've been watching the videos from the beginning, were the dugout pits that were they dug them out and they were doing different things in there, but this is those areas, and we will see that. We've got some repair areas over here. This says repair area, but this was more of like a quality area, quality check. They've got this listed as maintenance and rework, and I'm not sure what quarantine is, but this was more like a lunch break area. So this is not completely like this yet, but this line right here is. It says phase 1 truck assembly, 10 jobs per day. Capacity, the TAKT, it refers to 90 minutes, which is how long between the time between each station moving. So it would need to be at 90 minutes. It's not there right now. Right now, they've just reached 2 jobs per day, and they are at 4 hours on the movement of the line, the TAKT, whatever that stands for. So, let's see. Did they take down the wall, former outside wall? Yes, they did. There's no sign of it whatsoever. Am I more bullish after today's tour? Yes, absolutely I am. And let's see. Hey, cousin Dennis, you make it? I'm not sure what that means. Hector Jimenez, when you think more deliveries that I need, Well, we're going to take a look at that and we're going to see. But right now, jobs per day are at 2. I was told that this will probably reach in Q3. They're going to get to 5 jobs per day. And then before the end of the year, the goal is to get to 10 jobs per day. And with those kind of goals, I definitely think that they will reach the 300 to 500. And the way that they're moving, they just plan on speeding up the line, getting better at it, and that's going to happen over time. So let's take a look at the video, which started playing already in the background. So let's go back. All right. So as we're pulling in, we started taking pictures. These are the solar panels that are going up onto the covered parking area. And this is just a picture. It's a perspective that we've never had. So this is from the front entryway. This is the covered parking. This is the solar panels that are above us. Some of you might have seen earlier, I tweeted out, we parked like right here, and I had a picture of, I did a selfie with the roof, the solar panels above me. You can see that they're not hooked up yet. All these wires right here, none of these are hooked up yet, but they will be soon. How many jobs equals one truck? One job equals one truck. So right now their pace is 2 trucks per day. They also are working Monday through Thursday in the factory, 10-hour shifts. So they're working 4 10s. This will increase over time as they move further down the line as far as hiring people. So that is something that will also improve how many they can do. Hyder says drone footage is one thing, but this view is just wow. Yes, it is. It is definitely a wow. We were very, very excited. So here's some more pictures of the front. Those are the Palo Verde trees. There's a picture of me with my media pass. And this is the picture that I was just showing you. This is the first one. And they had 2 more of these, and we're going to go to those in a second. This is number 2. And let me show you around here. This is after the next phase is complete, where they have phase 2, the larger area of the building put in, which is going to be starting in a couple months. You can see this down here. Let me see if I can move that out of the way. So this is going to be cab assembly right here. And this is going to be chassis assembly. So the line that they have right now that goes 1 through 7, which is the chassis assembly, is going to turn into the cab assembly, where they are putting the cabs together. So the goal is to do a little bit of vertical integration. And with this vertical integration, they will be creating the cabs themselves from suppliers, hopefully in North America, so that they can assemble them here instead of having them delivered from Madrid. So on this side is the chassis, and the chassis will start over here as a blank frame, come down this line, and then it will meet up over here, and then go up through the factory right here. Boss asked about any automation. Not robotic automation, no. There are things that the chassis will sit on the AGVs. They will move from one station to the next. That is technically automation. Then they have where the chassis is flipped over, the chassis flip, and that is automated with a machine. They are going to be able to hit a button and it will flip it over. Did not get to see that. But that's just the way it is. Actually, if you look at this a little bit better, this looks like where the frame is going to start right here. Frame assembly over here, then the rail assembly coming down to the frame line, where they do different things, and we'll talk about it in a minute. And then back up through here with the chassis flip, and then the battery installation, and that's where they'll do the cab marriage. But the line will be a little bit longer. The more stations you have, the quicker you can get through each station. Penny Machine asks, how can one job equal one truck? This means they'd easily be making 400 plus trucks this year, if not well over 1,000, assuming they had the parts, which we know they don't, but theoretically if they did. Well, you got to understand the capacity of the factory is, I believe it's 2,000 or 2,500 as it sits right now. So yes, it could be. But when you have supply issues, and that's another reason for not having a second shift, is because they're going to end up running out of supplies. And from my understanding, the main supply issue would be batteries. So I believe that they've secured enough for 300 to 500 trucks for this year, and that's why they put their goal of production of 300 to 500. Brian's here. I'm here. I made it. You missed everything. Everything, Brian. Angel says, hello, Bear. Great job, like always. Cheers. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my AC. So if you hear any background noise, so sorry, but you're going to have to deal with it because you don't want to see me sweating, because I will be. All right. So we're going to move past this because you guys can pause this and look at it on the video if you like. You can see how everything is moving along here. This is the area where we're looking at for 2026. Let's go back to that real quick. I'm not going to stay on this too long because this is all future stuff. So we're looking at 2026, 40,000 truck capacity per year. That's 160 jobs per day. That is 160 trucks. And that means each station moves every 6 minutes. And as you can see here, each station there's a lot more stations, and everything is, so less time at each station, moves on, goes to the next one. So that's how that's working out. The more stations, the quicker you get, everything moves on. And if you want to look at this and really analyze it, you can go ahead and do that. You just need to pause the video after we're done with that. Brian, I for one will never complain about climate control sounds. Thank you, I appreciate that. JJ says, Brian has to believe now. And John says, it was great meeting you on the tour today on the tour. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. It's great meeting everybody. All right, so here we are walking. When we got in there, it was about 7:45 in the morning. The media tour had already started, so they threw us onto it so that we can get ahead of everybody else. I'm going to get as far as we can, and then I'm going to pause it. We're walking down to where the group already is, which is right about here. This is about station 6 and station 5. We'll pause it right here. So these are battery brackets right here that are being installed on the chassis. The chassis at this point is upside down. This is 4, 3, 2, and we can't see station 1. Station 1 is just a stack of frames. Station 2 was bracket installation for the chassis. Station 3 and 4, let me see if I could zoom in on this because I remember one of them. I think I remember both of them. Okay, I do. Okay, Station 3 was low voltage wiring, and Station 4 was high voltage wiring. So by the time it gets to here, and they're putting on the battery brackets, they've got all the wiring that's for low voltage, which is a small black wire, and the orange wires that you can see in here, those are the high voltage wires. And then the next station, we're going to turn around and see this here in a second. Station 6 is the chassis flip, which at this point, let's go back to that and pause it. At this point, they just had this still upside down, I believe, and they hadn't flipped it yet, but that's all that they do at this station. So far at every one of these stations, there is a chassis that is being assembled. So in this line at station number 6, we've already seen, well, you may not have seen it, but there are 6 vehicles in production right here. And this is obviously a fast station. Here is station number 7, which is thermal components. Do we know how much the trucks are selling for? I believe that they're $350,000, but don't hold me to that. So this is where more parts are getting installed for thermal components for cooling. This is some of the parts bins that we were looking at, and we took a bunch of shots of different storage bins, different parts that are waiting off on the other side of the line, and they get moved over by different employees to install things. This here is station number 8. This is the low voltage and high voltage batteries. You can see this box right here. This is a battery. This is a battery. This is a battery. So these are lined up on either side. There are 9 batteries in each one of these trucks. And we will start the video up again. And here you can see that they are connecting a battery right now to a boom or some type of crane, whatever you call it. Unfortunately, the tour started moving along, so we had to move along, and we didn't get to see them lift this up and put this in, but they were getting ready to do that, and we waited. It just didn't happen. So there's a great shot of a battery sitting there by itself, just waiting for install. So somebody's obviously bringing over these carts. Oh, look at that. A phone. A silenced phone. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Who makes the battery packs? I did not ask, but I know there's somebody that knows. And I forgot the name of it because I forget names. I'm not good with names. I forget my kids' names. I make them wear name tags. So anyway, that's the battery. That is a battery out of 9. And now we're going to move on because we just happened to miss it. So 9 of the large batteries, those are the high voltage batteries, and then the low voltage batteries somewhere else in there. This is them still. It looks like they're installing some brackets to it. That guy's talking to me, telling me he appreciates the flyovers, which was awesome. Lots of the employees. Lots of. Sorry, Bear, that was me. I need to know something. LOL. Mr. Bugs, was that you in that video? Right. Monster packs from Romeo Power. Lockbird should be Romeo Power right now. Anyway, this is us moving on. This is at the beginning of the marriage section. This is a chassis that is obviously on rollers. It hasn't been lifted up yet. I don't think we got a picture of it, but right above it, this blue thing right here this has got 2 sides to it, and it looks like it picks it up right from the door frames. I could be wrong because we didn't get to see it. KP, we'll get to how many trucks are ready in a couple of minutes as we get through this video. And this is the first chassis on the line. Let's see if we can get the number on this truck right here. I don't know if we got the number on it. That one was not on the line. This one was standing behind or sitting behind us. And there it is. Let's pause this for a second, and let me zoom in, see if we can get that number. We cannot. It's 1 something. The next truck will. Oh, it's 11. This is truck number 11, and I think this was out of order. That was. Let's go back just a little bit, because that was truck 11. That was not. Let's go back. Proterra was the backup supplier of the batteries, and they're going to be using both of them to get the batteries. I think you should get a chance to film a truck from start to finish. Well, that would kind of be cool in a way. But being that each station moves every 4 hours, and there are 15 stations, it would actually take a few days before a truck gets through the line. When they're down to 9 minutes, I wouldn't mind doing that, but they'll also have a lot more stations. So this is truck 11, and this is, I think this was station 10, is the cabin chassis. So if this is station 10, that means there's 9 other trucks that are being assembled behind it, if that makes any sense. So the line has 15 stations. There was one station where there was not anything because they were in the mid shift. This is station 11, which was the 5th wheel. So there's one station that did not have a cab or a chassis on it. So 15 stations, that means there's 14 trucks on the production line. That doesn't mean that there wasn't more trucks, because there was. So at this station, they installed the 5th wheel onto the back, and there's got to be probably more that's done than just the fifth wheel at this station. And this truck that we're looking at right there is on station 12, and station 12 says exterior and fluids. So just more parts getting put on at this point. Okay, then just more parts bins, and then a look back. So these are the hoods. They're just lined up, ready to be installed. Just part of what goes on there. And there was a couple of these racks that had the parts bins. As we're looking at this, I see we got a decent amount of people on. If you guys could hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. And here is another rack holding another hood. This hood looks like it's getting ready to be installed. This is, I believe, station 13 or 14. And I forget the name of this station. Patrick, you would be surprised. Battery connections. Okay, that's what this station is. They got the cab open, and this is the last station right here. Patrick asked, how many people from the media were there? 50, 100 more? I would say 6 or 7, to be honest with you. There was a couple different people there. There was no video cameras, mostly just pictures. So don't expect to see this on the mainstream news. The governor was there, and quite a few Nikola executives, and they spoke. We're not going to be sharing those speeches, but Nikola's going to be doing that. But there should have been more media coverage. So that was a little bit disappointing. And there was a guy that had a badge that said USA Today and Arizona Republic, which you guys know what USA Today is. Arizona Republic is a local newspaper here. So Penny said, I see. So essentially there's a truck at every station, and 2 jobs a day means the trucks at station 13 and 14 at the start of the day get finished by the end of the day. Exactly. Bugs was joking about my phone ringing. You wish he worked for Nikola. I'd move to Arizona in a heartbeat to work there. Maybe they'd be willing to have you. You never know. I know that they're hiring a lot of people. So yeah, so this is, I believe, station 13 or 14, and this one's 15. This is we got to look for the numbers. That guy on the left was one of the press guys that was there. This is kind of interesting. I never thought about this. These are our fluid containers. I actually didn't look to see what was in them, but you see how they have them up there. In case there's a spill, where does all this fluid go? It goes into this basin that's holding it up. I thought that was kind of neat. I never thought about that, but that's a perfect way for spill prevention. So they obviously get their fluids in very large containers. They'll probably use some sort of overhead crane to drop them down there, and they sit there until they're empty. So I also saw that for the windshield wiper fluid, they were up on containers like that. So this truck is in its final assembly. It looks like they're putting the covers on the battery packs. Let's go back just 1 second. Okay, the last one was battery connections. And I just missed the name of this one. Could have been trim or something like that. Let's see if we see it. But this truck is nearly ready to roll off the line. Mr. Bugs, you did tell me you were a truck driver the other day. This is a look down the line. You can see station 15, 14. This looks like 13 right here. And keep in mind, the truck is only married at station 10. So, but they've got people working on the cab assembly in a different area so that the cabs are ready to be dropped off. Though I'm not going to say how much they have, but assembled, but they have a decent amount. So this, right off the line, they go over a couple speed bumps, and then they go over to the wheel alignment section. So this is the end of the line, and we're going to take a little spin around, and we're going to see everything that's stored. This is right across from the line. You can see the cabs are over here in that picture here. Wait a minute. Let's get to that. So this is where the cabs are stored. Not the ones that are outside. We've seen plenty on the outside, but these are being assembled, and it looks like the ones that are on the outside are already assembled. So it is possible that they assemble them here and they store them outside until they're ready to be married. Let's see. Mr. Bogue says, I don't have a degree, Bear. They only hire folks that have degrees, whatever that means. I'm not sure about that. For a factory line assembly, I don't know if they're looking for degrees. And Deep says they don't have overhead fluid hoses. No, they don't. I would expect that to be something that happens in the future. Right now, because this line is going to be changing. So to put in all the lines to have overhead fluid hoses wouldn't make any sense. From what we saw in the pictures in the front, this whole line is going to be changed as the building gets larger, and that's going to be one of the things that helps them speed up production. Ideas asks, what price could Nikola achieve in 2030? Don't ask me, I'm not a stock analyst, but I see production going on here. Mopar Den, big picture. I wonder how Nikola will stand up against the bigger players like Packar's EV trucks, who own Peterbilt and Kenworth, and also Volvo Trucks, who owns Mack and DAF as well. Hector asks how much it costs for each truck. I think the price is around $350,000. These trucks are meant for day drivers, short haul, and that is correct. As far as how are they going to stack up against these other players in the field, right now they're stacking up very well because of their estimated range. I did ask about the range. It was something that we brought up Monday, and it's been visualized as 300,000, and that's probably accurate. I've got too many numbers in my head of what things cost, and I get them a little confused. I think we were talking about range the other day, and 350 miles is the estimated range, and the question was, let me just bring it back to here so you guys got something to look at when I talk about this. So these vehicles will go 350 miles. I asked if that's fully loaded, and the answer was yes. In ideal conditions, it is 350 miles. Ideal conditions would be the temperature is probably in the 70-ish, and the ground is flat. That's how all of these vehicles are rated, with ideal conditions. So if you've got hot, cold, things can be a little bit different. You've got a lot of inclines, it can be different. If you got inclines going down, it could be better. So it's still going to be, you got to look at it as, you're comparing apples to apples when you're comparing what other vehicles are getting, because they're all going to be in ideal conditions. So I asked, what is the range without it being loaded? So, a driver takes a load 200 miles to his destination and now needs to return without a load. Can they make it back? And the only person I was able to ask, he actually didn't know the answer to that question, but he says, of course, the range would be better, but he wasn't aware that they had actually gotten that range. It doesn't mean that they haven't, but he just wasn't aware of what the numbers were. So I'm still looking for the answer to that. I'm probably going to reach out to somebody and see if I can get the answer to that question, but the range is fully loaded. So I think that's great news, because I could not get that question answered until today. Let's see. Nikola needs to focus on energy. That is where all the advantage will be. Well, the hydrogen is where they will be focusing on that. This section right here, this is after the wheel alignment section. That truck is on rollers. We've seen this area of the factory before, but without these walls, it looks like they're putting some walls up. Probably for safety reasons, because they're going to be running those wheels at a great speed. I believe that they're checking brakes and other items on these rollers right here. This was another area that, while in the first phase we could see it was getting dug out so that this equipment could go into the ground. Oh, look what just came up. Not sure why that did. So this area is probably going to be closed off for safety reasons. And H2 says supplying energy to trucks is more advantageous. That is part of their business model. Marco says, good night, all. Phase 1 low volume production, approximately 2,500 units per day, 7 per day. Yeah, Look at this. Marco is not saying scammers anymore. He's contributing, and I really think that is awesome. That Marco's turning the page, and that's awesome, whether he admits it or not. Deeps, my neighbor sells Peterbilt. He told me the math. He said the infrastructure is not ready, and I'll be dead by the time it is. See, and that's a typical salesman because he doesn't want to transition. So, Marco, again, hello all phase one. Okay, he already read that one. Penne Machine says to Marco, 2023, approximately 2,500 BEV per year, 70. Yeah, that's probably going to be next year. They're probably going to be able to get that type of production, at least 2,500. Of course, it's all going to depend on supplies, because that's the only thing that's really holding them back, because this factory setup now is capable of 2,000 to 2,500 units per year running on a full year. They are ramping up right now, and I definitely think that's something that we're going to see. Let's see, how many this quarter, Marco asks. If this quarter you mean by quarter two, they've got the first, I'm going to say the first 8 trucks are completed. It might be 6. And that's going in today's the 27th. Now they're up to 2 a day. If you just take 2 a day for the rest of, and that 2 a day has to be multiplied by the days that they're working. So we've got, let's say, 8 weeks left in the quarter. That's, I can't do math, but let's get these numbers right. 2 times 4 work days times 8 weeks. I think that in the rest of this quarter, they'll be able to produce another 64 trucks, plus the ones that they've already built. And we are probably looking at close to another 10 that are already done. We cannot see the VIN number on this truck right here, just because the paper's folded over. Maybe we got it on another angle. So with time it takes to deliver vehicles and things of that nature, and plus they'll be ramping up. I think that second quarter deliveries will probably be 70, but it could, at a conservative estimate. These trucks right here are completed trucks. Just go back here real quick. All right, that's VIN number 2. That's the second truck in line. There's one truck behind us. And the truck behind us has TTSI on it. This one has Avant-Garde. This one is Biagio Brothers. This one's obviously going to deliver Budweiser. This is Covenant. And that's truck number 1 right there, is going to TTSI. This is, I think, truck number 2. Yep, truck number 2 is Univar Solutions. Truck number 3 was Biagio. Truck number 4, if you can see here, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. These trucks on the left right here, this one that's elevated and this one right here, and there's 2 more that you can't see in this picture. Those are trucks that are already done, and they are in quality assurance or quality control, whatever they're calling it. So here's 2 of them. That's VIN number 7. That's VIN number 9 right there. These are the guys, their sole job is, after it goes through the brakes, they park the trucks over here. They put them up on the lift. They're checking everything out to make sure everything is okay. Doing all of their post-assembly inspections, their validations. So, and like I said, we can only see 2 of them here, but there's 1 right there in the left-hand corner. And this is us going, this is still early in the morning. Only the media is here. This is us going through to do the truck demos. So we'll get some more pictures of the factory after the truck demo, but we want to show you the truck demo now. An article in Phoenix Business Journal says they have completed 11 trucks as of 4/27. I believe that. Those are production trucks. Let's see here. Brian says Nikola turned the page by shaking up leadership. Yes, they certainly did. And it was the Hindenburg report that brought that on and forced out Trevor. And that's why I think the Hindenburg report was actually a good thing for Nikola, because it got rid of somebody who probably would have slowed them down. My strawberry grape body armor. Let's see. Got a lot of comments. I'm trying to get them all. Yeah, Sean Lyon says, I'm pretty sure they have a capacity for 2,400 with 3 shifts, but supply is limiting them to 500 this year. That is correct. Lockbird, you don't need to pick on Marcos. Marcos is coming around, so let's be nice in the comments. Zorkmid says hello. Let's see. A lot of comments here. I'm just trying to keep up with them before we go on the demo. 173 people. If you 100 guys that haven't done it yet, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Even you, Marco. Let's see. Deeps. When cars were invented, it took 3 people to drive it. And the skeptic said the human body would not be able to handle going more than 25 miles per hour because it will affect human DNA. I believe that. I think that's still true. Just saying. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and start this up, and we're going to go to the demo, and I get a ride. This is me getting in there. We're cutting out the audio on this. We're going to do another video where we do some editing. We leave some of the audio in with conversations that I've had with people, and that we're going to take a little bit more time to edit it, make it look prettier. And I'll do some voiceover on it, but let some of the audio play. And that video hopefully will be out tomorrow. But we wanted to get something out as quick as possible for you guys. H2, as far as those trucking names, I think those were put on there to identify the customers. I'm not actually sure if those trucks are going to those actual customers. They may be taking those off, but I think that may have just been put up on there to show the existing customers. Notice how none of them had the same name. But they will not be putting those on in the future. I think it was for this event. Mr. Bogues, I'm on. All of these trucks will eventually be retrofitted. I'm not even sure what that first word is. I don't know if they'll be retrofitted to fuel cell, but the thing is, they could. By the way, this is a great look at the dash. I got so involved in the conversation, I started just recording the dash. But we can see we're just doing the simple loop around the site, and I eventually realized that I'm photographing an AC vent, and I lift up the camera, so apologize for this. Okay, so this guy starts talking, and you can see as we're driving around, you see all the cabs, or all the trucks that were sitting out there. All of those trucks that are parked outside right now, including the 4 demo trucks, are all pre-sales trucks. None of those are going to be sold. They're used for testing, and you can see right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the 4 trucks that are being driven around. I'm in one of them. 12 trucks. Those are all for testing and doing other things. This gentleman who's driving the vehicle, he was telling me that at this moment, and he's also told me some of the trucks are set for different climates, so that they could do different testing at different temperatures. Electric grids fall in summer to AC. I'm not convinced we are ready. However, I think governments will push EV just to try to save the US dollar. So, Deeps, the thing is, you don't charge your electric vehicle during the day. You charge it at night. I've got 2 Teslas. We charge them at night. We do not charge during peak times. It doesn't make economic sense or any kind of sense, to be honest with you. So, yes, all those were validation trucks, and these ones that we're driving in are also. This is me pulling up, and getting out of the truck. Any paying customers yet, or just tests or pilot tests? I cannot really. Well, yeah, I could say yes. There are paying customers. Uh, those production trucks are for sales. They will be shipped out very shortly, and they will be gone. These are prototype trucks right here. That's me standing in front of one. Hey, there's the dyno building, which is still under construction. We got a decent view of that, and the wash building right next to it, still under construction. But that's where they'll be doing further testing. Marco, 100 units this quarter. 8 quarters from now till the end of 2024 to get a run rate of 24,000 units per year. It's a 20% increase each quarter. Yeah, Marco, there's a pretty good chance that that's going to happen. I know that the next phase of construction is starting soon, and once they get that done, that will be very considerable as far as the run rate. Looking at this right here, we're back inside. This is where the presentation is going to be. This is truck number 1, the TTSI. This is truck number 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are all completed trucks that are ready to go. This truck right here is the one that's sitting on the brake test area. And you know what? I forget whether or not this one was actually completed or not. And we just was there for show. But it's possible that this one can be done. Behind these trucks right here, you can see one of them there. There are 4 trucks. As we turn around, there's 2 trucks over here that are being worked on. I believe that these were prototypes. And I'm just going to scroll through this so I can talk about it and stop it as we go. So this was still a little early. We're waiting on the governor to arrive. Once the governor arrives, he does his drive-through, his drive along, and then he goes for a drive. This is me looking around in awe at everything. Oh, look at all this. Over here, this is a little area where they do some training for new employees. We didn't really go over there that much. All right, and we're going to continue to look through here. And over here on the left, this is back at the end of the line. This is station 15. Looking back, this is the area where they're doing the wheel alignment. We got a nice shot at that. You see there's a basement level right there. And more than likely this is some sort of guard on the left-hand side to prevent rollaways. But this is where they'll adjust the toe and the angle and the camber of the trucks. And then you got the staircase that goes downstairs so that they could do that from the bottom. You see? Alignment. Brian says, if they let me have a tour and interview, you'll come back. Okay, this is some of their information on new hires, orientation, intro to the Nikola Teach program. So I'll let you guys read this if you want. We're not going to stay on that for too long. This is where the governor's walking up. This is him right over here by my mouse. And, you know, he's got his entourage, including security. We might have something funny to show on this. I don't think we caught it. But at one point when the governor was going in, his security got separated from him. And they're standing there. Oh, wait, this is me meeting Mark Russell. Yes, he gave me a hug, which was just amazing. Not the hug itself, but the fact that he felt that comfortable with me. So, yes, he's thanking me for being there. I'm telling him it's no big deal, but it was nice to meet him. The full audio for this will be in the other video that will get out tomorrow. I just wanted to talk over it. Unless, no, I don't think I have it in here. I would be hearing it right now. Let's see here. Fox 10 Arizona just did a video news piece on today. Well, I missed that, but I did not see any cameramen there, so not not sure what they got. Olivia's here. Says hi, Bear. Yeah, Hyder. Yes. Yeah, he knows of me. He actually called me to invite me, which I thought was very, very nice to actually do that. So anyway, the governor's getting into the cab right now. Going back to the story, after the governor gets out, he like ducks inside after he answers one reporter's quick question. No, I didn't mute the video. The video is not. Let me see. Let's go back to this real quick. I didn't think we had this. Let's see. Let's see if we have the audio of Mark. Oh, here we have it.
Hello.
Hey, Mark. How you doing? I like I said on the phone, I'm so sorry it took so long for us to get you in here. It's okay. It's okay. We're here. I'm not this way. And the fact that we weren't in touch and we didn't watch a whole lot of your footage. Eventually it's about doing our own.
So anyway, okay, we did leave that audio in there. I thought we did. I didn't realize it was still muted. So, yep, that was Mark and I's conversation. So that was pretty nice. So security lost the governor, and we were walking in, and they were in front of us. Where'd he go? And somebody had to tell them he went over that way. And I'm just thinking, what kind of security loses the governor? You got to keep your eye on him. So there was an opportunity to kidnap the governor if we wanted to. So the governor takes us for a ride, and he goes ahead and he's the one driving it back when they come back. So the governor got to drive it. I asked, but I was told to leave right away. Yeah, Sean, that was pretty cool. That he actively knows, acknowledges your work. I was surprised when he called me, so it was nice. So JJ says he'd be fangirling it up. He said sorry for something. He said sorry for not getting us into the factory earlier, and I just told him not a problem. They got bigger things to worry about than me. So this is the governor coming out, and everyone decided to applaud him for driving the truck. I thought that was a little awkward, but so how did it drive? I'll tell you how it drove, because I didn't mention it when you saw me on the ride along. I didn't drive it, but as a passenger, I felt like I was a passenger in a Tesla. Of course, the driver floored it. Then I saw him do the one pedal driving. He was riding at setting 6, which is the maximum for the regenerative braking, and it took off fast and it slowed down fast. I thought that was very impressive. As far as smoothness, no shaking, no rattling, drove smooth, so that was impressive. And it was quiet, absolutely quiet. No big semi diesel noise whatsoever. I literally could have been a passenger in a Model Y, except I'm sitting up much higher, and obviously the view's different. Very, very impressed by how this truck drove. I'd love an opportunity one day to drive one, do some donuts. I think that would be awesome. Probably never get an invite after saying something like that, but So the governor was up. He spoke for a little bit. If you want to hear that, I'm not gonna play all that, because I'm gonna just let Nikola replay that if they like. Mark Duchesne spoke for a short bit, and he got off the stage pretty quick. So far, I think that's he gets off the stage pretty quick. He's done that before, but he just says what he has to say. He doesn't beat around the bush. This is Michael Losher. I'm saying his name wrong, but this was the new guy that was hired 5 weeks ago. JJ asks, is it confirmed that TTSI purchased some after the trial? I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure that is a yes, and we'll probably find out for sure on May 5th. I've heard that there was the California incentives, that there were a bit that went through for these trucks, and I'm waiting for the May 5th announcement to see how many, but I think it was a good number. So here we are at the, how did we get to the end? That skipped something there, or did we? No, I think we moved everything in. Oh, there we go. All right, this is after, I don't know how we got to the end. John Lesnar, I have to go eat dinner, but just want to say you have a lot of fans at Nikola, and I think more people were looking for you than our governor. Keep up the good work, and thank you. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. All right, so there's our last pan through. This was towards the end. Most people had left, and then we just took a couple shots on the way out while we were waiting for the shuttle to take us back to the car. It was a great visit, a great day. You guys got any other questions, put them up there now, and we can discuss. There's probably things that I did not mention that I forgot about or forgot to mention. But if you got the questions, Brian asked, did Nikola say the BEVs can be converted to FCV? No, they did not. But they are on the same chassis, and it is the same frame that comes down the line. They're just putting different parts in for a fuel cell one. So any swag, I got a shirt, I don't have it with me, it's not going to fit me, so no other swag. So I say in theory they could be converted. I don't think it would be cost effective because I think things will change over time that will require too many changes. But they are the same frames, they start off the same, and the cabs are probably very, very close, but there's probably a few differences in it as far as maybe the electronics, as far as what's going to be reading your power and things like that. We've noticed in the past that there are 11 frames outside that have not been used, and they've just gone to different frames. We got an answer on those frames. Those frames are just now outdated. They've moved ahead, and they're a little bit different. Oh, look. Look at that. Out of thin air. Let's see, there's the Nikola shirt right there. Got a couple things on the sleeve. Let's see, I've got a tray on the sleeve right there, and I think it's just on the one sleeve. That was the swag I got. I'm always interested in more swag if swag opens up. And speaking of swag, but not free swag, the Nikola store, if you go to their webpage, there is a button now for the store in the top right hand corner, and you can buy shirts and hats. So there is some stuff available. JJ says, giveaway? Yeah, I'll give it away to someone. I wouldn't have a problem doing that. But maybe we'll think about something for that. How much does a charging unit cost? Oh, I did not ask that question, but that is a good question. Could you ask your trailer question? Are you talking about Torsten? What was the question? Let's just, instead of me guessing. Anyway, Penny asked, what's the shirt look like? I just showed it. Are you buying more stock after the tour? JJ, if I had more money to buy more stock, I probably would. I don't know if anything's going to happen tomorrow with a bump or anything like that. I'm hoping that this video of this tour gets a decent viewing on the internet. Hoping that it gets picked up by maybe Inside EVs or someone else, because I think this really gives a good view of what's going on in there. But I will tell you 100% that you look at this video, and I looked at it, I'm like, it just is not as clear as how organized it actually is. All of that is, it's two lines, one going one way, and then it meets up and it turns left, and then it goes straight down. Very organized. People all around there just doing what they're supposed to be doing to get the truck moved to the next station. I mean, it's just clear as day that they're going to be getting trucks off that line 2 a day right now. And it's actually going to probably, it's really more than 2 because they're working 10-hour days and they're moving the line every 4 hours. So technically, every couple of days, every 2 days, they're going to be moving 3 times instead of 2 times because they're working 10-hour shifts. So it's really more. I think it would really be more than 2 a day. But definite progress. Give it to Marcos. He's the #1 fan now. Maybe I should. Maybe if he can come clean. Ray says great job. Tons of info. Hider Butt says, is it only a white exterior option? No, it's not. Let me see if I can find a picture of something here. I know I could find this because I know I saw it. I think it might have been towards the end. Okay, yeah, right there. Hard to see in this picture because we're going the wrong way. This right here, this box, is a paint booth. It's a very large paint booth. They are not doing too much right now. It's upon request, they will paint the truck, but that is a paint booth. Let me see if I can find a better picture of this somewhere. It's right at the end of the line, and I know we can probably find it in another shot, but it was the background. It's let's see, going back. It's right to my left right now. Maybe not. Maybe it was right after the ride along because we went back inside. It's right behind us right here. Let's see, did we? Nope, I don't think we got it. All right, that's too bad. But yes, that's a giant paint booth, and in the future they do have plans to have a full-on paint shop. But I think right now it's white only. And now some of the trucks have come out with like red on them. I don't know if that was painted or if it was wrapped. But they have a full paint booth there, so it's very possible that they will paint it if you ask. And in our flyover videos on the north side of the factory, there was a large amount of piping put in, and now I know what that was for. That behind the Biagio. Okay, let's look for the Biagio truck. See if we could find that without going through this whole thing. This was before. Let's see. All the way over here. We're looking for the Biagio truck. That's some of it right there. That's some of the paint booth. It's a massive paint booth. Yep, there's another angle of it. Let's just run it from here and see if we run across it again. So yeah, on the outside, all those pipes that they were putting in was for the exhaust for the paint booth. What's funny is websites like Electric don't mind running stories about unconfirmed rumors about the Tesla Semi being delivered, which turned out to be false, but they might just ignore this. They might. And not for me to say that, but we'll see. Yeah, just that. There's a shot of that. There was another shot of it briefly. That's it right there. Yeah. Well, if you go through this video again, you're definitely going to find it. You'll find several shots of it numerous times. But yes, paint booth. They should do custom wraps for now, not paint. That's not a bad idea, and who knows what they're going to do. That's for them to decide. JJ says they have become just as bad as mainstream media. Let's see. Michael Loscheller. Yeah, that's the gentleman who is speaking. He spoke after Mark Duchesne. JJ said, "Are you not allowed to speak about certain secrets?" Um, no, I can pretty much say what I want, but there's some things that are probably going to be announced on May 5th, and I don't want to announce that for them because I'm not looking for the big scoop. So, Zork says, I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but Fred Lambert isn't a big fan of Nikola. No, he's not. He is not. So I wouldn't expect anything positive to come out from him. Whatever story comes out from them is probably going to mention Trevor for 20% of the article. A new Forbes article has just come out about today's event. Yeah, well, hopefully they'll link this video. That would be pretty awesome if Forbes linked it. Yeah, I just know that May 5th they're going to probably be having some announcements. So, well, we've been through this several times now. Well, not several times, but we are over an hour. You guys got any other comments, questions? I'd love to answer them while it's fresh in my mind, though it's possible I might forget things. So ask away. JJ says he's Fred Lambert's the one who reported the hiring freeze, which was incorrect. Electric was never better than MSM. We got to keep in mind that's setting the bar still pretty low. Yeah, I don't know if Fred's watching or not, but come on, Fred. Here's the paint shop, the paint booth in the back on that one. Any FCEVs on display? No, there were not. I did not see any on display. I didn't look at every single truck, to be honest with you. I was just caught up in what I was looking at. Those are 200 in quality control. Yeah, I did not see any fuel cell ones. And not exactly sure if they're out right now because I don't know if they brought them to Canada for that little thing that going on or not, but I did not see any. No, only head lifts or trolley systems, just one to lift the cab. There was a lot of lifts for different parts. Like those batteries have to be lifted. They're way too heavy for humans to lift. So there was lifts all over the place for putting in different parts. What is the range? The range is about 350 miles, fully loaded. Fully loaded is 40,000 pounds. Before UB staged the trucks, so they state, not sure what you're asking. That news from TS for Canada is huge. Do you mean TC Energy? Yes, that is. Truly is amazing. 99% of truck drivers are unaware of Nikola. Oh well. They will. They'll be getting it soon. Are the cooling trailer extra powered? I forgot to ask that question. It is a good question, and I did forget to ask that. I just didn't see the cooling trailer. I know it's out in the yard, but the only time I went past it was on this ride along while we're looking at the dash. This is like when we make this left turn right here is the only time I saw. The only time it was in my view, and I was talking to this gentleman, so I totally forgot to ask about that and how that's powered. But that is still a great question. I'd love to know if it's drawing power down from the site. Joining late, how many trucks on site? So we had 14 on the line that were under assembly. Then we had 6 more that were finished right in front of it. And then another, at least 4 more that I could see that were in quality control. So 6, 10, There was, and I think there was I think number 11 was somewhere around also, or the 11th one, because we were told 11 were completed. So 11 saleable trucks, okay, and 13 or 14 more under construction. Let's see, Cadillac Jack. I saw one pulling a trailer from Frito-Lay factory here in Casa Grande a couple of weeks ago. Are they available now? They are for sale now. You can order one, and there are going to be plenty of orders. I think May 5th. While we're not going to see revenue, except for unless there was revenue on a mobile charger, because none of the trucks that were sold in quarter one. But so revenue is either going to be nothing or close to nothing, unless I'm just missing something. But what we're going to see is a lot of announcements. They said that there was going to be more announcements on orders and on pilot programs. So we will be seeing that soon. Bins don't always go out the door sequentially. That is true, Brian, but also in this case, number 6 was out of order. Number 6 was on the line, but otherwise, I think it was number 6. Otherwise, they are mostly in order so far. CS says, thank you for staying on, Nikola. I enjoy your videos. Thank you for saying so. I appreciate that. All right. We're going to be heading off this call soon, or off this video. We've still got a lot of people watching. I want to thank everyone for being here. And if you got any questions, throw them up right now. So when I finish my spiel, maybe I'll see your questions before we're done here. Please hit the like button before you go. Please share this video if you can. I would appreciate that. If you want to become a patron and help support the channel, check out the link in the description below. We really appreciate any help that you guys can give us to help support the channel. Also subscribe if you haven't. I think we've got a lot of new people here who may not have subscribed in the past, because I'm seeing some new names. And since we started this, we have gotten 5 new subscribers since we actually started this video. So it looks like some of you have already, and I appreciate that. Let's see. H2 says trucking companies will and have pushed for heavier trucks. The profit motive is not going away. We'll probably see heavier trucks years ahead. I expect 48 truck tons being legal. I don't. A lot of the roads are not capable of handling that. I know that they just got an extension from 40 to 42-ish tons, but I don't see this actually going to 48 tons. So everyone, thank you for being here. I think we're going to cut this at this point. If there's anything that you want to see, go back, pause it. You got questions, put them in the comments. We'll have another video, probably mostly of the same, but with less chit chat going back and forth, and a little bit more organized, and with some more audio that we were actually able to catch. So everyone, thank you for watching, and listen to Brian from My Tesla Weekend. You gotta subscribe, folks, and that way you can see my podcast on Tuesdays with Brian from My Tesla Weekend, where we talk about all things EV. All right, well, thanks for watching.